Bow. Peace to the gods, the gods, the gods, the gods. Yeah, I said peace to the goddesses, 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 goddesses. I'd like to welcome everybody back to this creative collective. Today we hope to continue our week of constructive conversations, special guests, enlightened ones. We're bringing on our brother Giovanni. We're going to talk about
Yes.
love and relationships and dating and how to handle and cope with what they're calling a gender war. Is it real? Is it not real? We'll have some real cool conversations tonight. So we'll let our brother introduce himself. How you feeling tonight, bro? Tell him where you
I'm
from.
feeling good, feeling good, feeling blessed. Thank you, King, for you know, invite me on the platform. And so
It's
just to
definitely my pleasure.
yeah. I mean, to introduce myself, my background, I'm from Haiti. My background is from Haiti. Um,
West Indians, you might be a real Indian. Don't worry about it.
um, but I lived in Florida most of my life,
No
in
doubt.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Um, grew up, but I always say that I grew up in Haiti because that's where, I felt that my mind really elevated to another level. I couldn't see the world the same way when I came back to the United States.
Mm.
So I felt like I was always in search for something different. So, coming here to the States and, getting to this point, um, love is something that, I really value, that's really near and dear to me, because I know its power, you know. So I really entered into this realm after going through a breakup, about maybe 10, not 10, maybe 12, maybe 13 years ago.
Mm.
So, I was engaged and I went through a breakup, and I used a lot of my time to really reflect. I moved away. I left Florida, went to California, and I used a lot of time to really reflect. And what came out on the other side was a new version.
Mm. Could you could you talk a little bit about the breakup? Like what was that like how long were you in a relationship before you guys had the breakup?
So I was in a relationship for like 3 years. I was engaged in everything,
Mm.
but all the while, it was never really the right situation, you know. But I ended up getting broken up with. So when I had time to reflect, I was like, first of all, she did something that I should have done a long time ago. You know, so
Damn.
um, so I took a lot of time to really reflect, and I really learned a whole lot about
But
myself. Go ahead.
why do you feel like that she like that why do you feel like that you agree with her at that point? Okay, that maybe it should have been done. Why did you feel like that after reflection?
Because I mean, it was really a no brainer because I never really saw myself after a certain point. I never really saw myself going through with a wedding. I
Oh,
knew
right,
it
right.
was because I couldn't see her as the mother of my child, not because she wasn't fit, but it's because my ideas and what I believed in, it really didn't align with her.
Mm.
And who she was, I knew, we really weren't really aligning for a long term, you know.
Mm. Okay, no doubt. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So you went through this breakup. So what was it like? Was it like what was this awakening? Was it that you realized that you were that you were settling, that you were headed in the wrong direction? Maybe you were looking for the wrong things.
Well, the thing is that sometimes you get in a relationship and people just get in this place and they get in this habit, and then you start saying, you love this person, you're in love with this person,
Mm.
and sometimes you don't even know. uh for me, after reflecting, I realized it wasn't that I loved her, it was that I really didn't love myself enough, you know.
Whoa.
um for me, it was more like, once you love yourself, then then your standards change, and you really value yourself more enough to care about making moves um, when it needs to be, right? So I allowed certain things. I didn't really do the things that a person that loves themselves should do. So therefore, what happened. So I just spent a lot of time, immersing myself in what that's like, to really love yourself.
Mm.
I stayed away from relationships, and I was like, all right, if I'm gonna sell the product, then I really want to know it and love it, you know.
Ooh. And the
So
product is what?
myself, you know, you
Talk your shit. Talk your
you know,
shit, G.
you gotta sometimes you step, as men we're just taught to go out there and um, get women. That's it, right?
Right.
But a lot of times that's all we do is get women, but we don't we don't show up as men of value. We think when we
Hmm.
go out there and we're just sleeping around with women, we're thinking that we're really um, glorifying ourselves and what we represent as men. But what we're really doing is really we're giving everything out um, and lowering our values at the same time. So when I started really immersing myself in what self love was, I really started questioning myself. I'm like, why am I doing that? I'm like, why is she worth it? You know, it wasn't like because we're taught to think of it as an opportunity. Therefore, we never think about what we're giving in return or what we're giving up in return, right? Because it's an exchange. But in society, we're taught we're getting, but we're not taught or told what we're giving in return.
Mm.
That means our energy and everything inside of us, we give to these women as well, you know?
Hmm.
So, immersing myself in that and loving myself, it was easy. I didn't have to go down to chase this woman because I'm like, nah, I'm good,
I
you
think
know?
you made an interesting point. You were saying that she wasn't worth it, or is she worth it?
Yeah.
And that's a very that's a man. That's an interesting concept.
Mhm.
How do you determine like what was the instance to that?
Um, Come on, let's be honest. You're caught. You're telling me to come by at 10:30 at night. And for me, it's like, you know, yeah, we understand, but is this what I'm really about? Is this, it's like if you had that's what's in these days, right? If you had a foreign, right? Let's
Right.
say you had a Lamborghini Jeep, you just got it. I don't think you just be lending that car around to random family members. I mean,
Right.
it would be a big deal to you. You probably would be real. It'd be really hard for somebody to get those keys off you to get that car for a test drive. So if I can do that for with a vehicle that's replaceable, why would I do that with myself? It's just one
Mm.
me, and I value this. And that's what it's about. You gotta honor yourself, and when you honor
Mm.
yourself, then you enforce that. And people already see now that he's honorable. I have to honor him, because you represent yourself in such a way. So
Definitely.
yeah.
So you came to the understanding like what is a person? Okay, so you made an example of 10:30 at night, like um so you will want, so that's like saying like you need more time. Like I'm not just a booty call late night. You know what I'm saying? We need more QT around here.
I mean, and at that point too, for me, it was like, I really don't want to put energy in a woman that I'm not really seeing, wifey material in. You know what I mean? Because when you invest time in something, I mean, for why, there has to be a why, right? Like, why am I investing my time in that? Why, going back to self-worth, like I, 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 I have to, if I'm going to put this output, what do I want in return? And I honor myself enough to know that I'm not going to just, pass myself around like that. And it's not on some, it's not really on a judgmental thing, right?
Right.
It's just the idea for me. It's like, um, it's energy, right? It's really energy
Facts.
that people don't really think about. It's real energy to really have an exchange. And I'll tell you this, I've had both experiences before, right? And one thing that you can never take away from somebody that you truly love and somebody that you build with, um, the experience is never really the same, right? You have a booty call and you have somebody that you're really invested in. It's never really going to ever amount to the same thing. So if I know what true love is and what it brings me, because you know we as men we sleep around really for ego purposes, right? Once you can kill the ego or minimize them or put them, you know, at least have some sort of control over 'em, you really don't need that really. You know what I mean? It's really all if we all men really sit down and think about it, it's really all ego. It's really all it is, man. You know, so once you tame that, you really all you have to do now is like now you're looking for something much deeper. You know what I mean? And that's what it's really about for me.
Right. Well, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see in it being an ego, it being a conquer type of thing or a hunt. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It be trying to get somebody that's, you know what I mean, like out of your league or something like that. Trying to level up type of situation. I could see that being a very egotistical, right? Definitely. But
yeah,
that's human nature, right?
yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like you know,
That's what we have to surpass. I think what you're saying. We got to
you're right, right.
surpass that human nature.
Because at the end of the day, I mean, I'd be a hypocrite if I said I've never been down that path. But it's because I've been down that path that I value this even more.
No
You know,
doubt.
because it's really empty at the end of the day, and you know, because you know, I think there was a time I drove 45 minutes, man, really 45 minutes. You know, this I moved to a state, and you know, this woman was very beautiful, and I drove all the way 45 minutes, and the next day I woke up to go to work, and I don't know what happened, but it took me 2 hours to get to work. Thank goodness I woke up early, but to think about the entire experience, it was horrible. You know what I mean? And it was more that it was a transition period. It was like, okay, man, that was pretty horrible, you know. And it wasn't even worth a 2 hour drive for me to get to work and you know. So then, and there was another experience. I'm seeing a girl and I'm inviting her, trying to create time to see her, and then she hits me up at 10:30 at night.
Mm.
And she's like, what are you doing? Do you want to come? And I took a shower. Right after I got the shower, I just had this feeling and I just threw on my pajamas and I just jumped in bed and went to sleep. I didn't even call because I'm like, man, that's not even worth it. 10:30 at night. I'm
She's just
like,
gonna
I don't
use you.
and it was at that point I'm like, man, I'm good. Like I don't even I'm not even interested in even really going deeper with a woman unless I can see, like I'm talking about wifey,
Mm.
and that's what it is, like you know and the same way what girl that to go after when when you some guys really have no boundaries, but you know guys majority of the time they know the girl that's really down, and but
Well,
the
that's
same
that's
way.
a that that's a that's a point of debate. 2020 2022, right? With the
That's
high value argument, high
Yeah.
value women. I mean, high value men, and how women are interested in high value men. So it's kind of that's a debate. What do you think about? Um, because again, now again, so love and relationships. So now because again, you might be holding yourself forever now out this joint because it's hard to find, you know. I can agree with you. I'm all right. I'm the opposite spectrum, right? I'm probably a male slut, right? Okay, I admit. Um, but I'm in a place in a space where it's like, okay, I would want to be in love in a relationship, but do you find it hard to find the mental, like to meet the mental level? of you know what I mean? Like we know what we want, but does what we want exist?
I mean, I think the whole approach is really everything because in the back of our mind and in the back of your mind subconsciously, you're not even attacking it as anything serious. You're not even jumping into it like that. You're really going into it just with a different mindset. Now, if you're looking at it from an angle where you're you're uh you're really pursuing really quality women, and that's the kind of women you're gonna give your time to. But the thing is, we just, back in the days, I remember I just gave any pretty girl my time. You were pretty, then we were going out. That's what enticed me to just want to talk to you just because you were pretty. But then you fast forward, 20 plus years later, and then, I'm in a bar and I'm just there, you know, on my own vibe. Not, I'm not there to hunt. I'm not, that's one thing I never do. But I'll always acknowledge an opportunity, and that opportunity is a young lady across I can see her from any distance. Just because I'm not on attack doesn't mean I don't notice what's around me, right? So I may notice her from a distance and observe how she is with the waiter, waitress, or the bartender. See how she's dressed, how she carries herself, how she interacts with different people. Just because a guy speaks to you that you're not interested doesn't mean you need to be nasty to him. So I can see from a distance, kindly turn a guy down. That's attractive. That's respectful. So these are the type of things when your focus is different, then it starts to shift, and you start to really see that really what you're looking for really exists.
Where are they at though? I mean, again, like you said, I
Man,
mean, you walking down the street, you in the mall, you at the grocery store. Where you at with this?
man, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Women are everywhere. But what do you like for me? It is never my intention to really go out and hunt for women. It's never That's not my intention to say I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna find me a woman today. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna enjoy myself, and then whatever presents itself, if the opportunity is there, then you know I have to take advantage of it. But it takes time.
My bad. Like, so what if like would you like creep into a girl's DM? What is that? Is that still cool nowadays? Like, is that something to do?
I mean, um something would have to make me want to do that. Maybe she posts videos, but I can't always expect that she's going to receive it properly. But my intention, I'm never ashamed about my approach as long as my intention is pure.
Oh,
Like I don't care if you think
damn!
I don't
Fuck
really
me.
I don't really care if you look at my message and you say this guy's a creep. That doesn't bother me because it's unfortunate because I saw value in you, and your reaction alone is just a sign that is cool with me too. So my intention is everything. So I'm
Hmm.
never really afraid of the consequences, especially when you're intentionally looking for a girl of quality. Now, if you walk up to a girl and you think that she's a woman of quality, and she responds in a way that tries to clown you in any way, then in my mind, I'm like, thank you, you just did me a favor. It's really unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really unnecessary. I can respect a woman that says, I'm not interested,
Right.
you know, but I don't really get shot down or really horrified over those things.
No, 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 but no, I mean, definitely. I mean, shit. Like the way you, I mean, come on, guys. The way you broke it down was your intention, and again,
Yeah,
that's my shit. Intention is everything. So that would take a lot of sting out of it, though. Like, so
yeah,
if you know what I mean, if you moving with good intentions, like you say, I never thought about it like that. But yeah, like, it doesn't matter your pro, right? Okay, got you.
But you want me to tell you something? Here's it. I went to California, and while I was in California, I was really on this path of growth. So I didn't want a relationship. I really wanted to reflect and really think this thing through. And that's when I really fell into this self love aspect. And I was out there, speaking to different women, bouncing around. But after a while, I really started questioning, like, why am I doing that? So the more that I started falling in love with who I was, and that gave me the confidence to know that when I come to you, I'm you know I'm coming to you because I'm interested, but I'm also coming to you because I got something good to offer as well. And number two is the most beautiful thing. Actually, this should have been number one. Number one is I didn't fall for fake love. Like I didn't fall for fan love. I mean, like
Mm.
fan love. For me, it became more deep. For any type of attraction, I started realizing, man, how come this girl is so into me and she doesn't even know me?
Uh-huh.
So to me, that was like, all right, that's fascination. Like that's short term. So I already know from the jump, like if that's what I'm with at the moment, then okay. But the fact that my mind is thinking differently, I'm in another place, and I'm like, I'm not gonna waste my time in that. Because the thing is like we don't realize how valuable time is. Like while we're indulging in this, we're taking our energy away from the right person. We're jumping around with these other people. They're taking our energy away, where our past could really cross us to the right person. Instead, we're putting it into other people that are really not aligned with what we're really looking for. Maybe because we don't believe it, we don't believe in it, or we just believe it's just so hard to find for the moment. Let me just have fun with it. But while you having fun, the right girl is finding a man that's ready,
Mm.
that's willing to pass up all these girls that are in the fun, in the fan phase. So, it all depends where you're at, man. But when you're done, every man finishes that phase and has to jump back across, because it gets lonely on that side after a while, because the fishing never stops, man. Grabbing, it's like grabbing a fish, catching it, and continually throwing it back into the water. After a while, it gets that's kind of lame after a while, you know. And
So,
plus, let me tell you this last piece right here.
mhm.
Devoting yourself to one person is probably one of, if not one of the highest levels to growth. To be real with you, because it's easy in your life, right? Because you don't have to deal with a woman. It's easy. You talk to me right away. I'm not interested. Forget you. I'll call the next one, or I'll just jump in the car and back to square one again. But you never really grow though. It's just a game that really does nothing for you. But when you really get yourself immersed and really locked into a relationship and find someone that's with you, then that moment of growth is really major. Because you don't have to deal with you don't have to deal with yourself. You can ignore stuff every day. But when you're dealing with somebody else, somebody that you care about, and you're gonna have disagreements, then you gotta find different aspects of it within yourself to really get through these things. So if anything, man, that's the most beautiful thing about really being committed and getting to that point in your life.
Dope. That sounds, again. That sounds wonderful. That's like a that is a
Totally.
goal. You know what I'm saying? That is definitely a goal, a relationship goal. I've personally haven't had that, but that sounds like what it's all about. The fuck? That definitely sounds like what it's all about. That's why you're here, coach. That's why you're here
But,
to
but you want me to tell you something though? Think about it, man. Like, think about it. Like, we're constantly being, and I told my friend that just the other day. You see the same way when you're driving your car and you see a girl on the side of the road that's attractive. You notice her, right?
right.
Exactly, right. So when you're walking on the side of the road, there's a woman that's seeing you the same way, that's attracted to you. Would you not agree?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you have to be fair, right? You have to be fair. Like, there's a
Right.
woman that's driving out of all these cars on the road. You walking alongside the road, there's gonna be a woman that's checking you out. The same way that you were checking out that other woman. So the more of the story is, you're constantly being watched, man. You know,
Right.
so the same way that you're seeing women that you're saying that where these good women at, these good women are looking for good men. You know,
Right.
so and in the meantime, while you waiting on these good women and you exposing yourself with these other women, then what happens if these good women see you with these other women? Then then you already categorize yourself of not being that guy for her because she already sees what you're into. So you really have to always think about how you carrying yourself too. Because if you want a good woman, like we think we just get to do whatever we want, get to be dogs and do whatever. And then when we're ready, that good woman is supposed to look at our resume and give us an opportunity. You know what I mean? That's the way we look at it. We expect out of these women, but what are we presenting and what are we holding on our resume to present to these women so that they can be in awe of us as good men?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, what? How
But
am
see,
I?
that's what I'm saying. That's where that's that, and that is where I think the disconnect comes in because what is good men to it's like the values is different.
Right. And I think the term is wrong. I don't think because it's a judgmental term. So I don't want to say good men. I want to say
But
men
no, I
that
mean, no, I
ready.
mean, you whatever term you would use, I'm saying is like, is that what a man is? Like, you got like again, what like from my understanding, like what a man is not what a woman wants. Cause a real man can't really put up with the type of shit that's going on today.
Like what?
I mean, okay. All right, so now you got relationships, right? Where it's just like, you got women that it's about what the man brings to the table. His money is my money and my money is my money type. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool, but it's like it's just like, and again, it's just that's not the way that today works. Today women work and they get money. Today women like see, so like in a man's world, I have like I meet women that are successful. So they might want to give me stuff. They might want to spend money on me. So to my friends in the world I live in, they might want to get women that got money because they out here. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like I know friends that date only celebrities and stuff like that because they out here. So it's
Mhm.
like the values is what I'm saying. It's like because everybody want money, but it's like you looking at a nigga with some jewels and some jewelry on, but he ain't got nowhere to stay, which is
Yeah.
cool. But you know what I'm saying. So it's like that's what I'm saying. It's just a disconnect. And then when you meet these girls, they still want to. I mean, everybody want to be rich. Everybody want to be famous. Everybody want to be on TV.
Mhm.
I mean, that's what I'm, and that's why I don't know. I'm not the right person to talk. That's what I'm saying. I'm single because it's like it's still that chasing that American dream. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Shit, I'm sorry.
But you know what, man? I get it though, right? But the demands. What's crazy is that the demands are higher than what they have to offer.
Right. That's
You
what
know,
I'm saying.
so
That's the point I'm making. How do
and
you deal with that, please?
well, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, you have to have like you have to live by certain standards or principles, right? So already, if I mean, I remember um, I was in Georgia at the time, and I had a conversation with a woman, and she asked me on my first conversation, how much money do I make? And and for me, I I like to have fun with these things, but right then, right there, I already knew. all right, let me have some fun for a little bit, but this is definitely not it. But she already told me that, her ex-boyfriend was in, because I'm an engineer, and she said because her ex-boyfriend was an engineer and this is how much money he made. So, I just gave her a really low number, but um if you ask her, what can she offer you, you know, you know, it's just really sounding like a one-way exchange, But I think what's lost its touch. It's really two people really coming together and really, cooperating with one another and, building something. We're just in a society where everybody's just um, wanting equality, wanting same. They just want the same treatment as the next, and etc. And we're getting away from this whole idea.
Reality. We're getting away from reality because that's what I'm saying. It's like the average girl lives in a fairy tale. The
Yeah,
average girl thinks that she can be not average. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you meet a girl and it's like the prettiest people got the lowest self-esteem. So it's a real hard situation out here in this dating pool. It's like 9 times out of 10 you meet a girl, she already got kids and she got a baby daddy paying for some situation, and you can look at how she treating this nigga and you like, bro, what the fuck I look like stepping into his shoes, you know what I'm saying?
but that's the thing, though, man. Like, you know, that's what I had noticed, and it made it really easy for me to just chill. It made it very, very easy for me to just chill. And the most beautiful thing you can do is stop being because what happens, man, you're gonna go out and get one girl. You not first of all, you have no intention on even, like, you found her at the club, wherever you found her on. You had an intention where you found her, and when you were done, by no means did any bone in your body strike uh any part in your heart and made you feel like she was the one, you know. Like, if she even showed any signs of emotion, if anything, that would probably be your last time talking to her, and you'd probably be going on to the next one. So then you're on and on to the next one. Then really, what are you building at the end of the day? What are you building? And that's the question. I'm asking that question from questions that I had to ask myself. Like, what am I building? Because I didn't grow up with that mindset. I grew up like I was a virgin until I was 19 years old.
Mm.
You know, so it was something that I intentionally, I walked away from women in really, really vulnerable positions before to remain that. So
Mm.
coming to the other side afterwards, I came to really respect what I had held, because it really wasn't worth it, man. Because once there's racking up points, and there's an experience of love making that's you'll never experience until you really devote yourself to somebody. You know what I mean? And that's really the power right there, man. Like, if you're racking up points and you're just thinking, okay, let me just empty out my pockets for a quick second, then okay. But you losing everything that comes with it, when it's not done with something that you're fully all in, devoted, wholeheartedly in with. You know what I mean? Trust me, it's two different things, man. Like, when you're meeting a girl for the first time, it's all ego, unless you just really don't care. you know, some guys really don't care. They just really don't care. They're just out, to get theirs. But a lot
I
of
mean,
guys,
all right. In
go,
my defense, because people that know me and that listen to this, they probably like he's killing me. You're eating me alive here. But
nah, nah, by
I
no
mean,
means.
I get what you're saying about the ego and stuff like that. But like again, sometimes I grew up in the sexual community. Everything is real. It's
Yeah,
freaky where I'm from. But like niggas can have sex and don't tell nobody. Like I learned in college, I can't tell nobody who I have sex with. I had
right.
my closest friends tell like people, you know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like so I mean it's not like so it's like okay, cool. Sometimes it might be a personal ego, but it's not like, you know what I mean? Like you kind of get over this shit. It's really like, I mean, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm all right. But it's not about me though. And that's what I'm saying. I like everything that you're saying because everyone gets to
Mm.
hear, like another perspective instead of just me all the time saying, polygamy and polyamory and you know that type
And
of
don't,
weird shit.
but don't get me wrong. Like, I don't set anybody's standard. I can only share my experience and what it's been like for me, and why it's so valuable for me. Trust me, man.
But
You know,
again, I mean, hey, I'm single, so polygamy, my shit. I'm saying, I mean, I'm not practicing what I preach it. I mean, again, it's not that I
yeah.
can't. It's just that I'm just at a different state where I don't have the people, the women, on the mental level that I would like it to be. But that's something that I'm working on.
So can I ask you a
Yeah,
question?
sure.
So you think like if like the perfect woman walks in the room right now, you feel like you feel ready and like ready, like inside and out, like I'm ready for this. I'm about to go talk to her. And I'm ready to own that and carry everything that comes along with it.
I mean, I can't imagine just looking at somebody and feeling that way. I can't.
No, 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 not just looking at them, not just looking at them,
I'm
like
just saying. I know. I'm saying like just getting their aura and their glow. Like, wow, that's the one. I mean,
no, not like not like you may enjoy the person the first time, but I'm talking about like really approaching it with that mindset, like
yeah,
I'm
I couldn't do. I'm so jaded. Like I used to live in LA too. I lived in LA. I lived in Atlanta.
yeah,
I'm jaded. Like I wish that again. I wish pretty girls was the answer. I wish a pretty girl with a body was the answer. I wish that was enough. But that's those to me
right,
are red flags.
right, and that's the thing though, like and that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you can go through it, but you're not gonna hold on to everything that you go through, because like there's women that like some guys tell me, man, she's really pretty, man. You should talk to her, and I'm like, man, she could be a pretty problem,
Right.
because the look isn't really everything for sure. Because what the person says, like I know within just a few seconds of sitting down with a girl, whether it's time for me to look at my clock and jet out. I've exited dates within like 10 minutes and be
Ooh.
like, hey, I appreciate your time, but it's I'm good. Because you can. I mean, think about it. Like, you go on a first date with somebody, and I was in a new town, and they invite you to a restaurant, and the restaurant was like $40 a meal. The restaurant with like the dim lights, white tablecloth, very intimate type deal. And then I looked at the menu and I'm like, man, on a first date, I'm gonna be in at least $200 on this. And then I see the girl walk down the street. I already look at the menu. I'm like, nah. First of all, that's mad inconsiderate. Yeah. And then I see her walking down the street with a faux coat on,
What's
like
that?
a fur coat, like a
Oh,
fin.
fur coat. Oh, she bougie
Yeah.
bougie.
So I looked at her. I'm like, oh no,
It's
that's
a problem, right?
nah. It's so when she approached, I was like, hey, this is not gonna work today, but we can go across the street right here. And
Right.
we went to Mod's Pizza. But for me, and then while we were there eating pizza, she was on her phone the whole time. So while she was there, I'm like, hey man, I'm just gonna pack this up to go. I know you're busy, so I'm gonna head out.
No doubt.
And then
Nah.
I checked out. But you have to know, like, what are you in it for? Like, a guy that's in it to just get something is just gonna entertain that. But
Right.
I don't, my time, what I represent, what I stand for. I'm not gonna just tag along just to get something. My time is worth more than that. You know what I mean? But not to say that I haven't been there before. And I know guys, I have friends that'll stay on the phone till 6 a.m. in the morning,
Uh-huh.
and then right after he gets what he wants, it's a wrap. I'm like,
That's shady. That's
and,
shady.
and, and I'm like,
No.
man, you put all that energy. Oh man, like man, if I'm talking to a girl 6 o'clock in the morning, that means you interested me enough. We're to the point where I'm like, all right, this girl, I like her that much, where I just can't go to sleep. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
that's
But
crazy.
to just it's all about what you're in it for. Because when a girl approaches me and she's not really in line with what I'm in line with, I'm not even
Mm,
entertaining it. You know what I mean? I'm not
no
even
doubt.
entertaining it because I already know what you're in it for. You know, and then you're gonna go off to the next dude. Like, what I look like, man?
Damn. I never thought about that.
No,
Going off to the next dude, but yeah, I
but,
feel you now.
but check it though. Like, it's fair game now. Nowadays, like, it's really fair game. There's women that don't want guys to be attached. There's women that are really like that. They'll come over and they'll probably won't pick up your phone call until they're ready to see you again. So it's like we're not out there just jumping around putting points on our cars. There's people racking up points as well. If you really want to think about
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm
it.
saying. I don't. Again, I think women are misunderstood. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
think women are the biggest freaks in the world. Like I know, I feel like I know girls.
yeah,
I know how girls play. I know what they like to do. I know how they think. And it's like I'm not mad. Again, I'm not mad at girls. I love girls. I'm just looking for a new grade of mental girls, like magical, witchy vibes. You
yeah.
know.
You gotta go to the right spots, man. You've been to California.
But no, and again, like, all right, so like back to girls, because now we talked about guys and shit. But back to girls is like, do you find it like, okay, so all right, now let's just talk about you now. So what type of girl is a good like a girl? Because again, so like, is there like a moral compass? Is there a educational level, a spiritual level
Most definitely.
that will make her
I
a good
mean,
girl
I
for
mean,
you?
come on, think about it, man. A lot of women that you meet these days, is their primary goal to grow mentally, spiritually?
Mm,
No, right? You're
mm-mm.
not mean that. They're thinking about what you could do for them. They're not thinking about, is this guy like, there's women that would think you're weird because you're connected. Like, for me, that's a no brainer. Like,
Mm.
I'll roll you a red carpet right out. So the thing is like, um, people are really a lot of women these days are just really looking for, because you got to understand we're in a very, everybody wants to get their followers up. It's really about, everything is so surface level. Everything is surface. So when you're having a conversation with a woman, she cares more about what you drive, how you look, what you wear, uh where you live, and how much you make, more than she cares about the character that you have as a human being.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, my character is gonna tell you how I'm gonna treat you, how I'm gonna treat your family, how I'm gonna show up to my kids. So when you ask me, how do I see a woman? I mean, how do I see a woman? A good woman for me is that when I look at a woman, or when my kids look at their mom, they can look at someone that they don't have to be embarrassed about. And that's the way I look at it, because um, I
Damn.
can I tell
Damn.
can I tell
Period.
my
Point
kid.
blank, right?
I mean,
Shit.
I've been around my friends and have
Damn.
known their fathers, and I've heard them say things about other kids' mothers that I know about how they were in the past.
Mm.
And it's nothing judgmental, right? But at
It's
the end of
true.
the day, it's like, what you pick is what you pick.
Mm.
You can either get you can either get I mean, you can either get take your chances and just, and people change now, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not the one that's going to say You know, a girl had a bad past, that nah, she's trash. You know, that's not cool, because we all grow in life, and we just all grow in different stages. You know what I mean? So at the same time, if I'm looking for something at the moment, then that's what I'm looking for at the moment. I can't be looking for a girl that's transitioning into where I want her to be, right? Like I gotta look for the
So
ones
in
that,
other words, ladies, keep your body count down. All them high
I
numbers,
mean,
them football numbers.
just really honor yourself. It's really not a really it's really not a ladies thing. It's really a human thing. You know what I mean? It's really a human thing when you really look at it. You know, honor yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's the
No
thing,
doubt.
bro. I know for a
Be girls out here be having mass murders. They got a body count. Be like they serial killers.
yeah, yeah,
They be having whole towns dead.
yeah,
They body count be higher than a motherfucker.
yeah. But you know what though? Like the same way that I'm pretty sure you got things that you own at your house right now that you wouldn't even lend it to anybody. You know, you wouldn't give it to anybody, you know, but we just throw ourselves around, you know what I mean? So for me, like the way I look at it now is like think about what gives us stock value. Anything that has value, there's less of, right? Think about it, man. Like you think about coins. Coins don't gain their value until you know, until there's not enough of them. You know, people don't start running to see how valuable certain species are until they become what, endangered. So it's when things are really like stocks don't aren't you know stocks aren't really of value until what, until it's slow for you to
Mhm.
buy it. So it's the same way. Like you really have to think about yourself and think about somebody. I think the one thing, I think when I was in college, my uncle told me this. I was going out a lot, and he says, "Yo, you go out to these places a lot. You should uh let these people miss you a little bit."
No doubt.
And you know what's crazy? I would see them once in a blue moon. They'd be so. I mean, it's a you from the moment I walk in the door. Like every now they're bringing up my credibility up. Now women are probably asking, "Who's this guy now?" No, right? So it's like you get all this huge celebration, but when you're around all the time, you're accessible.
No
You know,
doubt. You get loathed and they start to hate you. I get it. I say that all the time. But the way I used to alleviate that was I would go to different clubs
but at the same time,
every
though,
week.
get at
Especially
the
in
same
LA. You could go to different clubs in LA
right,
for the whole month.
right. But you know what? At the same time, though, it's like you can go anywhere, but the access is the same. They
No
still
doubt.
getting access to you. Like, what's VIP? It's a limited people in VIP, right? But if you got about you've been to 200 women, it's hard to call you VIP by then, right? So it's like
No doubt.
everything valuable is
I
limited.
mean that's not fair, but no doubt. I get what you're saying.
Think about it. Just think about it. Everything valuable. Everything valuable is limited, man.
But you
Everything.
know what though? Again, like I think it's different for men and women though. Like, and it's like it's how you wear it. You know what I mean? I think it's how you wear it. Like, I'm not selling anybody's soul, but I'm just saying like women are different in my opinion. Like women, like I'm saying, like they women are different, man. Like they like you say, they calling you, they shocking you by calling you at 10:30. Like, you know what I mean? So even though she's a good girl in her mind, that's still what she thinking. She got preachers for parents. She got because like it's the hot girl summer. It's Meg. It's fucking city girls. It's Scissor, Sweetie. All these girls is enhanced, and all these girls is free, and they sexually liberated type shit. So it's like it's kind of hard going back on these girls, but like I say, like they want the freak shit. Like I mean, they with it, man. I'm just trying to tell you, they with it. It's hard to be.
But you want me to tell you something, bro? If you expose yourself enough to the right places, and you carry yourself as that man that's actually presenting as somebody that's awaiting that woman, man, they're gonna feel that energy through the door, man. I'm not even exaggerating. When you come looking for something, it's a difference between when you come to a job interview, hoping to get the job, and when you know you got the job, your whole demeanor just, you know, I got a, I got my first internship before, but right before I left, the guy was like, hey man, I got a hard decision to make. I have a line of good people here, blah blah blah. And before I left, I was like, man, I gotta do something. I'm black. I got dreads. Lord knows how many other engineers are lined up. And then before I left, I put my hand on his shoulder and I said, sir, I'm ready for you. I know you got a hard choice, but I'm here to tell you, out of all these guys, maybe they haven't told you, but I'm here to tell you, I'm ready to go. And that in itself pushed me through. You know what I mean?
No
So
doubt.
you come into the job interview thinking otherwise, not thinking you're gonna get it. You're gonna show up differently, and you know what I mean. But you have to make the choice easy for any person that you're trying to attract. You got to make it easy for the person that you're trying to attract. You don't just get to kick back and be whoever you want to be and just wait for that person to come, because you might not be who they want to be at the time. So who do you want to be at the time that you want that right woman to find you? That's who you need to be, because who you being right now, she not gonna want that. And if she wanted, she lost. But nah, the right woman is not gonna want somebody that's not right for her. You know what I mean? So you have to be fair to the entire situation. Hopefully, by the end of this call, I convert you, man. I'm gonna bring you. I'm gonna bring you to the light, man. You see, you got the black screen. I got the light back here.
You know, bring me to the light, no doubt. I mean, like I say, me personally, I was never really like I'm never really was looking for like relationship types. I had situations where I could have been in relationships, but like I always was focused on something else. Like you know what I mean. I figured I had time to fall in love or whatever. But now, like now that my mind is kind of like in that place in that space, like I don't like the landscape. I don't like the way it looked. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah.
You done passed up some good ones.
I really did. I'll be the first one to tell you, boy. I had stuff a motherfucking
It's
I had
fun
stuff an
out.
all-star team of
It's fun out there.
of life. But like I'm not like a weird dude, but like I mean I really did. I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna front. But it wasn't I mean it would have been good for at the time for who I was then, not good for who I am now, you know what I'm saying? And they were good girls and it's just where I'm at now. I still wouldn't be. They wouldn't be good for me today, though. I wouldn't lie and say, with my
Hmm.
understanding that I would be happy with them.
Yeah.
But you know,
The think about it, man. Like when I was going out, and I'm like, if I want to go enjoy myself, then I want to be. It's not even about. I want to know what type of people are going to be around. You know, what kind of place do I want to go to? You know, and I go to places that connect with the kind of vibe that I would expect good women to be at.
you
You
keep
know, I mean,
saying good women.
it's
I'm
it's
like, man,
it's.
who are these women?
I mean, I'm not. Come on, man. Like, I'm not. And it's really hard to pick, right? You can meet a good woman. You can meet a good woman in the club. That's crazy, right? But the majority, 90% of the time, I wouldn't advise somebody to go looking there. But you can meet a girl in the club, accidentally, and she ends up being a good girl who just wanted to go out and have a good night with her friends. And she's been working hard or studying, whatever it is, and she just wanted some time with her friends. And she just so happened to be out, you
No
know.
doubt.
So it happens, but at the end of the day, like, what are your chances? Like for me, if I'm looking for, if I want to, if I want to be what I'm looking for, then I gotta go where they should be at. Like I'll go to a nice lounge, a nice, lounge that that's not, that's pretty chill, respectable kind of thing. You know what I mean? But where you go to is what you're gonna find. So, you know, Don't
But
go
no, no.
some places and
I
say
mean,
you
no,
know.
you're right. I mean, listen, I met a lot of good girls at the club. I met a lot
Yeah.
of them. I ain't gonna lie. But what I'm saying is, what we're saying together is that the girls, okay, so you a good girl, but you gotta fight through all these bad girls. Like, and if you are the type of person that can get a bad girl, it's hard to get a good girl. Like if, like I'm saying, like people don't understand. Like I don't talk to girls. I'm
Right.
like a real shy person. Like I don't really talk to girls. So when girls talk to me,
Yeah.
it's kind of different. And the girls that usually, you know what I mean, you kind of going through the baddest of the, you know what I mean. So it's kind of like so. It's like I know what you're saying. I believe in what you're saying though. It's definitely some good girls out there. They wouldn't be good for me, unfortunately. That's because I'm on some guys. I want some goddesses, but I dig
Yeah.
what you're saying. If you got the right attitude, and I dig what you're saying. I definitely dig what you're saying. You
I
got a
told
really
you,
good outlook
go,
on it.
go to a retreat, man. You want some deep spiritual women? Go to a retreat, man. Go to
We need to
they
have a
got
retreat.
they,
That's what we
they,
need to do. We need to have a
yeah.
retreat because it ain't nobody on our vibes. Like we got some of the baddest chicks out. I ain't gonna front. Like we got some bad chicks.
Yeah. But you see, there's retreats all across California. I've been to a couple of spots there. These women, but I mean, of course, you want how deep do you want to go? You want to go floater deep, nomad deep, or you just want somebody that's level and that's on your level of depth. You know, where you're just, all right, this is um I'm here and you want them to be here. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't want them to be all the way here where they just thinking they're gonna go hang out with a dude, spend the night with another dude type deal. You want a woman that's deep where she's more connected to herself. I'm talking about the hippiness over there. But there's spiritual, real spiritual retreats though that go out where people actually go looking for those things, you know. So, like somebody that's really connected, not a lot of these people now, a lot of these women nowadays are just really talking. It's just really career talk. It's not even. It's really what the world says is valuable. Everything is career, where they trying to get. It's really nothing about building something more, uh, like a family or nothing, right? Like the adding that value to your family. It's really not that. Nowadays, women are talking about building their careers, man. They waiting for kids around late 30s. They having,
Right.
and then you catch them around in their late 30s. They trying to put pressure on you. And I always tell myself, that's not my business. That you spent the majority of your early times, playing around. I'm not taking part of that pressure. You
Oh
know,
my god.
because I got to take my time to get to know you, to know if this situation is right for me too. So if you think you will put the pressure on me because you didn't use your time wisely, then you might as well keep it going. But
So, so even good girls, even good girls might not
no,
even
it's
make it. It's like,
no, but it's the type of. I mean, it's the type of pressure though. There's a woman that. I mean, you got to think about it, man. I'm talking about the new era, so it's not like that tactful type deal. It's not like,
right.
well, we've been dating for a while. I'm talking about girls off the strength of like almost 3 weeks of talking to them. They telling you about what you're gonna do about are you gonna fly out to come see me and take me out or what?
Mm.
And you're like, wow, man. It's like we can't even. It's almost like, oh, I don't have no time to play. I mean, as soon as you use those words, I don't got time to play, and I'm like, okay, because I don't have time to play neither. So I don't understand what your expectation is. Like you're a
Mm.
little aggressive. You know what I mean? And for me, it's like you expecting me to rush into something. I'm feeling like you trying to sell me something that's not going to work in a couple of days, but you're trying to get it off real quick. You
Now,
know,
what if a girl that you flew in, you fly her in,
Mm-mm.
and then she come in and she don't want to have sex? So that's like a perfect girl, right?
But that doesn't mean perfect though. Like
I mean,
not.
but that's like a good girl.
I mean, but it doesn't. I mean, it depends though, right? Like, what are you doing it for? Are you doing it because you don't want to look easy, or you really do it because that's where you stand as a person.
Mm.
You know, because if you're doing it because you don't want to seem easy, then it's you not. What is that standing on? You know what I mean? What is it standing on? I don't want to seem easy. Well, that's not even heavy to me. You know, but if you stand for something like, no, I don't do that because that's not what I represent. You gotta earn this, and I'm not gonna do it until I'm XYZ or when I'm married or whatever it is. That's respect. You have boundaries. You have standards. But if you're gonna tell me, oh, I'm not doing this because I don't want you to think I'm easy. Well, what is the difference between the first date and the second date?
Mm.
What's the difference? What is the difference between the first day and the second week? What is
Mm.
the difference? Like, what changed? You know, what changed? So, like, that's not deep to me. That's not like, oh, I don't kiss on the first date, but I still don't know you the second day. I mean, I still don't stand on anything real the second day. So why do I get to? Why? Because now you could wake up next to me then.
No,
It just doesn't line up for me on that.
no, you better. I mean, no, okay, no, because that happened to me before. I actually flew someone in. I'll be honest,
Yeah,
and
ain't nothing.
they didn't, and they were like, I guess she was like, I didn't know we were going to do. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I guess
No,
she was like,
you had intentions because you spent that ticket money.
no. I mean, be in a hotel though. You didn't just like fly and you stay somewhere. You staying with a nigga. So that was kind of my thing. I'm like, what the fuck? That kind of freaked me out. So,
No,
so I sent her home. Was I wrong for sending her home?
yeah, because 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 your expectations is none of her business. You know what I'm saying? Like she didn't tell you. She didn't tell you, yo. When I get you acted like she made a promise she didn't keep. You know, like in all honesty, um, you know, you should. You know, I would have just let it be. First of all, it should never be any expectations of some sort. You know, it should never be any expectations because that's what causes us to do certain things because we expect, man, I paid this ticket and you think it's just gonna be, yeah,
No, no, it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about no money.
it's
It's
about the
about bought the
principle.
ticket. I mean, it's about. I mean, well, why the fuck you want to? I mean, what you want to stay with me for and shit? Like, I
I
mean, I'm just saying,
mean,
like, if you
I
like, who
that
want to
makes
sleep in a bed with a nigga that you ain't fucking? That's just me. Like, it's good. We can have this conversation. Cool. We can, you know what I mean? Like, we can not fuck over the phone and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying. That's how I was thinking at the time. I'm listening to what you're saying though. It's like I get it, but at the
no, but
time, I'm like, this don't make sense. Like,
because you're about to go home and I don't even know when I'm gonna see you again, and I
no,
just
I'm like, you came here. No, this is you came here. Why did you come here?
right, right,
No,
right.
now you're going home because I don't know why you came here.
No, but the
You
thing
were cool.
is
You were set to stay.
right. But that's the thing is like how long was she gonna be there for?
I mean, you know, she acted like she was going to kick it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it
Mm.
wasn't um, no, I'm a leave date or whatever. Like, she was chilling. She was acting like she was going to kick it. Like she was, you
You're not
know.
the you're not the type she give it up to, man. That's all.
And that's okay. That's
No,
okay.
no,
You know
no.
what I
But
mean?
what I mean by that, don't take it personal. What I mean by that is that there's guys, there's guys. Bro, I'm saying it from experience, man. Like there's guys that are just not the. There's for certain girls, you're not the type that I'm gonna give it up to. You're the type that I'm gonna be in a relationship with. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm
for
not that
instance,
guy though. I'm normally
no,
not
no,
that
no.
guy. I'm
But
not the
she,
marrying type.
but
That's my
but that's
line.
a,
That's what girls tell me.
she
I'm
she
not the
made
marrying
for
type.
okay, okay. Maybe I'm okay. Like I'm gonna give you an example, right? I'm gonna give you an example. So for me,
But I get what you're saying though. Like she
it's like
tried it. She tried it. You right.
no, no,
She
like
tried it.
she spoke to you, and all of a sudden she's with you, and she's like, "Oh, I want to keep this. I don't want to just fling it because he's not gonna treat me like nothing, and this is just gonna be it after this." So what happened is like it be girls like I know, like other guys have had easy. and all of a sudden, like, I'm like, why are you doing this, man? And it's like, oh, I'm just not that type of person, and I'm not gonna do this. And I'm sitting there like, oh my goodness, you lying, you know. I mean, maybe you never know, man. But at the end of the day, I get. I mean, anybody who's logical would think, okay, first of all, you don't have to say a word to know that if you're coming to see a guy at a hotel, that he's not gonna think, or you know, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like anybody would think, okay, you're going to a hotel. What do you think is gonna happen? Like if that's my sister, a friend of mine, I'm like, what do you think's gonna happen? Like if she's talking to me all nonchalantly, I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm not knocking you, but you know what time it is, right? Oh no, we're just gonna talk, and then I'm gonna be like, oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, listen, don't waste that guy's time, man. The guy's at the hotel. So if you think that this guy is really thinking that you're just gonna sleep next to him, you're very
Man,
naive.
like who wants that? Like who does that? Like what grown man wants to sleep next to a woman? I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm not that guy. I'm sorry. I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm not saying I haven't done it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying if this what you think is going on, this what you
But but
think is about to
but you
happen.
but you knew
Not.
but you knew it was in the back of your mind. You really thought like, it's going down though. Come on, you knew that. You were ready.
I
You
mean,
had the right
honestly, like I said, like
hotel.
my based on my life and my past, like girls, like I said, I don't really talk to girls. Um,
Right.
girls, like, and then like I don't really initiate like sex with girls neither. So I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? Like it's real. Like I'm not putting no pressure on her or nothing to have sex or anything
Yeah.
because I don't do stuff like that. Like it's really I usually let the girls do what they want to do. Like that's fun to me. But um, and again, like I'm telling you, like I was cool the first night. I wasn't tripping. I didn't first night like. You know what I mean? Or da da da. But I'm like, this what we doing now? Like you gonna keep playing this game? Like, cause she wanna. I mean, I don't know, dog. It's like that's what I'm saying. I don't know how we got on
So
this
what
deep.
happened after that though?
After what? The first night,
So when you set her off, what did she say?
I didn't set her off. I mean, it was just a conversation. I just brought it up. Like,
Oh, but how
um,
long did she stay?
by the end of that day, she was gone. Like, I was just one night. I ain't gonna lie. It might have been like the next night. I think the next day she left. The next day, maybe the next day,
So
but it
you
was
were
like no more than 2 nights. Cause I
so
think, yeah, it was no
so
more than
you
two
just
nights.
y'all
No
just each
more.
slept on the one side of the bed.
Nah, she wanted to cuddle and do all this old weird shit, and it was like that's when like problems was. Cause I tell you, I don't initiate nothing, so it's like don't put all this. Don't do all that extra shit. Don't be trying to put it all on me and be trying to be kissy huggy like. And cause again, some girls play like that. Like I had a girl, like you know what I mean, like you said, like a girl tell me we don't have sex. I don't have sex on the first night. Woke up in the morning, in the morning was like it's a new day,
Yeah,
and wanted to have sex type shit. Like,
yeah.
but so I'm not tripping. I'm not,
That's
and again,
that's
I'm not knowing stuff. I be chilling. I'm not initiating. I'm not trying to be aggressive. I'm not
that's
forcing the
funny.
issue.
See, but that's what I said. I said nowadays it's surface. It's all surface, man. It's not. This is what I stand for. I stand for this, and I take pride. I take honor. It's like, nah, man. Like, let's be very honest. If we were in a world that was non-judgmental, a lot of women would be very open about just sleeping around. It'd be open. We just having a conversation. You know, we having a normal conversation. Your boss will tell you they'll go sleep with you in the break room for a minute. Nobody would judge you. But now people have to hide around, and women don't want to be called names or anything. So, yeah, how many times do you hear a girl say, I've never done this before? It's such a common phrase. It's like the minute you tell me that, it's almost like you get the X right away because what
You feel like she lying.
because it's like, what are you protecting? Like, what are you saying that for? Like, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, like the good is out there, bro. You have to hold yourself down so they see you. It's like it's like you wearing all black and you expecting them to see you in the dark. You know what I mean? So You
No,
gotta.
I'm not saying that the good not out there. I believe the good is out there. But I think also that it has to be a change in the climate, a change in the environment, like because the good can't be great. You know what I mean? Like they make it seem like if you conscious, you gotta have natural hair and you gotta be bummy and smell like fucking sea moss and um you know what I mean, Muslim oils and shit. That's you know what I mean? That's the perception. Like
Yeah.
you can't be conscious and fly around here. So it's like that's the environment. So it's like,
But
you
see,
know what I mean?
but that's the thing though, man. Like, why it's so easy? Because I feel fly being so like I feel fly when I go to the club and I'm not interested in talking no girls and I dress up like I'm ready to I'm dressing up like I'm ready to attract, but I'm only there to enjoy the vibe. You know, I feel fly when I know that every guy up in here is on the hunt, but I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So when you walking around everywhere you go doing your own thing, that's what that woman want. That woman don't want no photocopy, and if they do, then I'm not the one. You know what I mean? Like there's everybody nowadays is trying to do the same thing, bro. What there's one thing that makes guys smile to each other. One thing is when there's a woman involved that gives a guy certain attention and another guy sees it. That's one of the only times you see two strangers smile at one another. You know,
No doubt.
two guys with egos. Let's say a girl walks by and she does something, and you see him, and the guy sees you. Y'all probably laugh at each other, you know. But other than that, come on, man. Like it's out there, but to carry yourself in a certain way where that doesn't matter to you, like I mean, it was probably the most amazing thing for me to walk in the room to see mad beautiful women, and none of them mean nothing to me, bro. None of them. You know why? Because it's like somebody giving you a box. If somebody gave you a suitcase with $10,000, or they gave you a box well wrapped, gift wrapped with a bow and everything, which one would you take? You take the suitcase, or you take the gift wrap box that you don't know what's inside of it. I'm taking a suitcase all day, right? Because you know the value. You already know the value. You already know what you got. So why
Right.
do I need to? So for me, I don't even care about a woman until we speak, until I see where your heart is, where your mind is, where your soul is. If I don't see those three things, then you're just another woman to me. You know what I mean? So it makes it very easy. And when you have good vibe and good energies, a lot of these women weed themselves out because they're not attracted to good energy. So it's good for me. You know, I don't need you to be around me. I don't want to share space with somebody that's not on that level of growth. So even if I was in the space where you were at, I wouldn't want to spend time with women just to, what do I get out of it mentally, emotionally, spiritually? What do I get? You know what I mean? But being in that sacred space, man, like I feel very good, man, going out and knowing that, you know, I'm a different kind of dude. you know that's one thing that that really makes me feel. And it's not because I walk around thinking, because I know to many people, to society, it make everybody has their labels, but for me, knowing that I'm maintaining my authenticity and really staying true to something, um you know in my mind, value that is valuable, I'll just say valuable. um that's meaningful for me, that's deep for me. So that's a really heavy thing for me to carry. So, it's easy to do that though. It's easy to go out there and just go on the attack, man. It's really easy. It's so easy. But what does it bring me in return? In these
No,
three
I
actions,
get it. I definitely get it. I
it's the
definitely get it
exchange,
though.
man. If a
I
man
definitely
came to
get
your
it.
house, listen, if a plumber came to your house and he didn't do a good job, you would not pay him.
But no,
You know?
again, but see what I'm saying? Like, okay, so again, like, and here's the thing too. Like, I don't want y'all to think that I don't like I like the type of girls that are these baddies and are these attractive. I like these girls. I just think that, like, we're just talking. Like I say, like even with the girl with the thing. I know what she was trying to do. I know what she was trying to do. Like, just like you said it. You said she's looking at you like, you're the guy that she don't want to have sex with. She's thinking like, how these some girls will try to play a born again virgin type of game with you and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a, I'm gonna be a born again virgin type, and he gonna fall in love. And I'm not to say that that's not the plan for some people, but for me, it just threw me off. Like, now you want to be a new nigga, when why can't I just fall in love with the nigga that you've been? So right now I'm just like, and it's cool. Like, I just want some magical ass Negroes. But I'm not. I'm again. It's not really about me. I know it's about me, but it's not. I'm really just trying to, I want that good. I respect what you're saying. I just don't think that is out here like that. That's all I'm saying.
Man, but guess what though? Guess what? Whatever you believe is what you'll see. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think that the world's a beautiful place, then you'll find beauty every day you wake up. But if you think, man, it's bad out there, man, it's hard, it's just impossible, then you have no real reason to make any effort to do anything. You know what I'm saying?
No, my reason is I'm trying to change it. Real talk. That's why we trying to have conversations like
Yeah,
these.
yeah,
We try to, we had some female life coaches, and we just want to get more perspectives out. But
yeah,
I definitely want to change it because I
yeah.
think that it can be better. I again all right, I'm not really big on sex and stuff like that because I don't think sex makes a relationship. I think if like when I had a girlfriend that was a virgin when I was in college, right? And she was my girlfriend from like 12th grade, like the end of my 12th grade year to like, well, the summer of 12th grade to freshman year of college or whatever. And we went to different colleges, but she a virgin. I go to different schools, but she wanted me to be the person that whatever, right?
Yeah.
So so we do this, right? I'm like, all right, whatever. I had to come to her school, whatever, just so we could do this. And after we did, she was, I mean, like, actually we was probably broke up at the time. We probably broke up. But she wanted to just do it with me and some shit. And it's like, bro, like, to me, I felt used. Like like you talking about, I've never had sex with a virgin again since then. I don't want to have sex with a virgin. Like, I'm not really like here for that. So it's like the good girl, because she's the good girl, she's the virgin. But she want to have sex with me, and now, like, God knows what she doing out here, like, in these streets as the good girl. Like that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, I've never really bought this shit. Like, I don't buy that shit. Like, what a virgin to do and not do. And like,
But
I had girls that, like, you know what I mean. Like, girl be like, yeah, I had a boyfriend. I can't have sex with you, but I suck your dick. Like, girls are fun. They are wild. They are like incredibly um spontaneous and unpredictable. Like, that's why I'm telling you, like, I learned not to do things to girls. Like, the more I don't do, the more they want to do. I mean, so it's like, for a girl to not want to do anything, that kind of threw me off. Like, what the fuck? Like, you really trying this shit? Like, and then you want to sleep in a bed? Like, what type of motherfucker is supposed to sleep in a bed with a nigga and he not supposed to be excited with a bad chick in the bed? Like, really? Like, who plays
I
this
would,
game?
I would rather. I mean, that's a little bit of her little boundaries is a little wide open, but
And she
um,
lucky I ain't a young nigga. Because if I was young, I'd have played juvenile 400 degrees on her, and I'd have beat my dick right in front of that. If I'm in a
no,
room with a bitch and I hold her want to fuck like a man, I'm gonna beat my meat and get my fucking nut.
no,
But I'm gonna do then. I'm gonna cut the TV off and go to sleep on that whole then. And tell that to
but
your girlfriend. You tell her everything else. She gonna be with her boyfriend. You gonna be by your damn self.
no, but at the end
While
of the
I'm in the
day,
beans with your friends and she about to get nervous. Baby, I don't want nothing but some mouth and lip service. She was lucky I was a nice guy, and I fell for her. I'm like, yo, because I see what she was trying to do, but because it wasn't like a one night stand. But if it was a one night stand, I'm telling you, I'd have played that juvenile and pulled it out on her, but like, bring my dick on her
no,
and go to sleep on her.
no, but when she went back, you guys never talked again.
Say what?
You guys didn't talk again after that.
Nah, we ain't talk again after that, man. I mean, Nah, I
You
mean,
sent her away, man. You put her back on the next flight.
nah, I couldn't even find a flight. I had to drive her back.
Oh man,
I
see,
had to drive her
that's
back.
that's like
She had to go. She was
that's
gone.
like
She had to
that,
go.
that's like top notch to get rid of. That's top notch. I'll do anything to get rid of this.
She got to go, bro.
That was like
She had
driving
to
around
go.
looking for the
I mean,
nearest dumpster.
we jumped in the truck. We was out, nigga. We was on, we was at her, bro. She lived in Detroit.
Yeah,
Talking about, we was there by sundown, like sunset type shit. Cause I don't play like that, bro. I don't like. And I'm saying, I get it. I could be the guy that you like. And she probably, I'm saying she probably did like me. You know what I mean? And because people telling me she don't like nobody. Like motherfuckers like, damn, she flew out of town to come see you. Like, that's big. Like niggas was hyping it all up. But I'm like, bro, she
that's
playing with
not
this pussy.
enough.
Like, you can keep her.
He's like, I don't have time for that deep. Either giving it or you go.
Cause I mean, honestly, like,
Unless she give it to you, you're not trying to hear nothing. How special you must be. He's like, if I
bro,
was
I,
special, you
I'm
would have.
that nigga. I want to get sexed out the way. I want to get it out the way. I don't give a fuck about sex like that. Like, I want to get it out the way.
Well, you care
Like,
about it that
please.
much. If you can't get it first, you got to get it the way you want it, huh? Hard
No,
headed,
I'm telling you, I don't press the issue, but it's like
but you gotta give it to me if you go. If I'm gonna fly you in though.
I already flew it. And that's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. If I would have knew what type of time she was on, I would have been cool. I'd have been cool.
So
I wouldn't have probably flew. I'm not doing that though.
you
I'm
wouldn't
not
have.
doing
You
that.
wouldn't have flew her in. That's the fact.
Facts. I wouldn't have did that. I wouldn't have did that. I don't
You
do
already
shit like
knew.
that.
Yeah, you thought it was gonna be a nice little getaway weekend, like a
It
little
was again,
short,
like I say, she didn't
like
have
a
a return.
short-lived.
She didn't have a
Bro,
return
I'm,
flight. Like,
I'm gonna say it
see, I
for
mean,
you.
she could have been here for forever. Like that's how she was acting, and
You
that's
thought
what
it
it
was
could
gonna
have
be.
been. But
You
she
thought it was
was.
gonna. My bad, man.
No, I'm listening. What you saying? My bad.
You thought it was gonna be a short-lived honeymoon,
No, bro. I'm not. I'm not.
right? Let me tell
Again.
you.
I'm feeling it. Like it could have been whatever. It's
Oh, okay, okay,
whatever.
okay. So you're saying if it did happen, it would have gave you more uh of a motivation to continue talking to her.
No, I mean, again, like in my mind. So all right, like I'm not flying you out if I'm not fucking with you. Like if I don't want to be, like again, like I'm giving you, like, do you want to, like, when you going back? Well, I don't know when you want me to go back. I don't know. It's up to you. Here go the money. Buy your own ticket. She bought a one-way ticket. That's cool. You can stay as long as you want to stay. I'm not inviting you to come stay if I don't like you as a person. If I can't see me, you know what I mean, building with you. So that was the whole thing. Like
Yeah,
she wanted to come one way and she could stay as long as she wanted to stay. Like that was the thing. But and I liked that. She was a cool person. Like, but it was just like, that part. And again, like I say, like in hindsight is always 2020. Like again, she, you know what I mean? Some of these, you know what I mean? Hey man, I just don't think she should have did that. I'm just saying, I don't think girls should do stuff like that. I never had a girl do nothing like that to me before.
yeah. But
You know what I mean? And I'm
I'm
quick to
sure.
buy a flight in a heartbeat.
Ooh. Nah, man, I'm not.
You know why not? What you
Never.
playing for? What you coming here for? Why do you?
Not buying no ticket, man. No
Man,
tickets.
listen.
If you're not my girl or my wife, you don't get no tickets here, bro. That's almost like how much does it cost between a ticket and an escort, man? Like, nah. For me. It's like I'm not putting a price on an outing or anything like that. You know, like that's a big one.
No.
That's at least minimum $200, man. Unless you flying Southwest, but that's minimum $200 to go to the next state almost. So
No,
like,
I mean again,
man,
like
that's why I'm saying like in it like I go all in everything I do, whether it be the friends I have or anything. So for me to give a woman my time and to give her 10% or 2%, nah, man. Like if I'm giving you money, we further more than you could ever imagine. Like buying tickets, buying bus fares, or Mm-mm. No,
Oh God.
I'm gonna let
Okay, so I'm saying
I'm gonna
like,
let
all
you
right,
invest in
so
me. I'm gonna let you invest in me. If she so liked you and doesn't fly out for other people, then let her spend her own money and do it. Why she get all the credit when I bought the ticket? Oh, she don't fly out for nobody, yeah, because maybe nobody ever paid her ticket.
but no, I mean, they don't say she don't fly. It's like she don't go nowhere. Like she don't even go on dates. Like she don't even fuck with niggas. Like, and I get it. The chick is mean. She was mean. She's a mean girl. I'm not. I'm not. Listen, when I met her, she was about to. She was cursing some niggas I about to beat. I mean, I didn't. I didn't really. I wasn't. Listen, I'm telling you, I wound up liking the chick. Now you want me to tell you how I met her? Listen, my homeboy was talking to her sister. Her like they twins. It's two girls that's twins. So my homegirl was talking to her sister. Her sister's super bad, so she's like almost as bad as her sister. Like her sister's a 10, she's a 9. So um her sister's like the fun, big bud, like everybody like love her. She like a model type, you know what I mean? Whatever, whatever. So she get all this attention and all this shit. So I had to kind of calm her down, like you know what I mean, like get her to chill and be cool because she was being herself, which is like you know what I mean. From Detroit, she was turned, so I had to calm her down and like you know what I mean, keep her cool, and help my homeboy keep his date and keep his whole night going kind of cool. But then he wound up arguing with his chick, and then I'm stuck with the other chick, so she wound up kicking it with me. But she was cool, so I wasn't tripping. That's all I'm saying. But the next day after that night, they had to catch a flight. So they left and went back to Detroit. So we was just talking on the phone for like a week or two, da da da. And she was like, I want to come see. I'm like, oh fuck it, come on, let's go. What you want to do? Like, cause I usually live in a hotel. So like I've been living in hotels for like the past 2 years. So it was like, come on, whatever you're doing. And
So you
that's
were
how I
you
met
were
her. I met
real
her like her being a mean girl, her doing her regular mean girl shit. And then her sister was like surprised that like again, like her sister was arguing with my friend at the end of the night, and they wound up going somewhere, but she wound up coming back to me and for me in my room. You know what I mean? So and we was just chilling. That's what I'm saying. So we had a night where we just chilled before, but that was like late. That was like all night. We was just up talking like. So we had nights where we just chilled and we was cool. We was like friends. I liked the chick, but that part was just shit I couldn't swallow. Like
hey,
I don't
but
like you enough to be your roommate and shit.
but you know what, man? Like I go into every expectation with no intentions, man. Zero expectations, no intentions.
Man, if she
And
wasn't cuddling, if she wasn't trying to put that big old butt on me and shit, if she wasn't trying to be
nah,
like we a team and in love and all this shit, I could have probably swallowed it. I probably could have stomached it. But I
nah,
can't stomach the shit when you like it's like you trying to force a nigga to put hands on you. Like I'm talking about like I'm not and that's what I'm saying. Like hindsight of 2020, bro. I'm not saying I would have did anything to somebody ever, but like I don't think that she was all the way there mentally. Like you know what I mean? Like she's just a bad chick. Like a lot. That's what I'm saying. Like she just a lot of these chicks is just pretty. They just bad. They just you know. But they going through stuff. We all going through stuff, and we don't get to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I say to me, I'm still attracted to what I'm attracted to, but it's like the mentality is what I want to work on. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I wouldn't have just. I mean, it wasn't like I'm met her on the internet. I slid in a DM or some shit. No, I don't meet girls like that. But
but come
you
on,
know,
hey, you got to do this
I
though. You
would
got
though now because my brother just put me on to intention. So I definitely say, like I said, you just changed my
yeah,
outlook on that. So
too.
if I
But
slide in your DMs,
yeah,
don't be mad.
don't be mad. I'm just showing the interest.
I'm just sharing
That's
my
it.
intentions.
I'm just
So
chatting.
yeah,
Hey, I think you're whatever. Um, there's no game in real life. People always like, oh, you have to have game. There's no game in real life. There's just truth. Some people like beautiful words, but the truth is gonna always get you there. So if somebody takes it the wrong way, they're just not ready to receive you, and that's fine. But I mean, you have to. At the end of the day, what are you gonna do? Spend the rest of your life thinking what they may think? I mean, just
Oh, so
Say
so what would you have done in that situation? Don't just leave me high and dry. What would you have done? You would this is so is that that's what I'm saying. Is that a perfect night?
if she no, it depends how the conversations were going. But if it's like if I live out of the hotel, then it's different because that's my home. I didn't rent the room for her. You know what I'm saying? But if she was hyping up a lot of talk like, oh, when I come, blah blah blah, and then that happens, and I'm gonna be like, man, what the hell? But if it was me, also, man, like you'd have to ask me from the beginning would I pay the ticket. If you're saying
Right.
she's
Okay.
flying over, if she's flying over, it's a whole nother deal, man. I'm not bothered. But I'm not going to be in a position where I'm buying the ticket. So I'm going to look at it like she's flying over. If she's flying over, sleep all you want. It's all good. You know, I'll chill with you. You know, it won't bother me at all. But, I wouldn't be flying buying a ticket because then it's either I'm buying a ticket because you're my girl or my wife and you're coming to see me, or I'm buying a ticket because I have intentions. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not buying a ticket. No, I'm not doing that. You know, you never know, man.
Well,
I
I
don't.
probably bought about 4 tickets this year.
Oh, lucky women for different women.
You,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, it's different events, different women, different times. I mean,
yeah.
again, like I said, like if I like, like I say, if I go somewhere, I don't really necessarily have to meet girls there. If I can bring a bad girl with me that know how to behave herself and look the part, you know what I mean, know how to dress for the occasion, I would usually prefer that. But again, that's what I'm saying. That's why I want to have like relationships with like the right type of women. So you know,
That's what I'm telling you. I mean, you there, man. You on the path. You want to elevate a women. You gotta step into that elevated. You gotta have that elevated presence. It's like what kind of signal you giving off. It's like you're in a place where you're chilling, like you're open for it, but how much do you where's your focus
no
really? You
doubt.
know what I'm saying? Is your mind just constantly, if you're at the airport or anything, is your head constantly going back and forth because you're seeing many women walking back and forth? Or do you really know what it is you want, and do you is that what you're willing to settle for? You know what I'm saying? Like, why get this along the way? It's like, oh, I'm gonna stop off at this. You remember what happened to the tortoise and the rabbit? He was chilling, but while he was chilling, that little tortoise was gaining ground on him. It's the same way while you out there partying, there's another person right there that's focused, that's still making progress, and that's actually attaining what you're trying to get. You know what I mean? So it's like you really gotta devote to your whole entire self to anything that you really want. You know what I mean? Like I said, always think about it, bro. Like, if it's a queen you want, let's think about it. If it's if you wanted to be with Michelle Obama, who would you have to be with her? Would you just walk up to her right now? Well, let's say she broke up with Obama right now. Would you think, oh, this is my chance? Not in a million years would you think that. You would never think this is my chance because you haven't put yourself in a position to where you could even walk up to that woman. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? So how could you do that? Are you being fair to her? Think about it, man, because you want a good woman to use X, Y, Z, but are you being fair to her by who you're currently being? You know what I mean? So that's what you
No
really got to
doubt.
think about. You really
You
got to
gave
think.
me a lot to think about here. You definitely did.
Yeah.
Definitely gave me a lot to think about. Y'all got any questions in the audience? We've been vibing over here. The chat is kind of Shelly's taking over the chat. Let's see. Where she got a lot of questions. But yeah, if y'all got any questions, y'all can put them in. We've been going for an hour and a half. It's been a good conversation with Brother Giovanni. You got any ways that people can contact you if they wanted to have a conversation with you and get some more information?
Yeah, just add me on Instagram on that good old feeling.com. That good old feeling. Um, I don't know if you could type that in the chat. I don't see it. Oh, because I don't really have an account. But yeah, just put at that good old feeling. Maybe you can share that with them. And
Definitely, I'm gonna do that right now.
but yeah, shoot me a DM or anything as well. I'm also working on a course um, right now too along that path. So I'd like to interview a few people, a handful of people to help build out the course. I've been working on it for a while now, so trying to get it finalized, and it's going to be really cool and dope. So I really do appreciate the conversation. It was really great because at the end of the day, man, we're all trying to figure this thing called life out, you know.
No
And
doubt, and you definitely help with that.
yeah, man, the most beautiful thing we could do is really commit ourselves to something greater than ourselves. So um, it requires a shift. So um, it was it was dope talking to you. Um, so I look forward to doing this more, man.
Definitely, man. We look forward to having you back, man. Definitely appreciate it. Some of the things I got from this conversation was about, like you say, working on yourself. Don't be afraid to put the work in for yourself.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and to be the person that your future person or persons would want. You know, like be that person. Like again, that's what we talk about, visualization and being, being the I am, and but it's like being the I am for someone else, which is even more incredible. Like I said, I never thought about that, which is like, had, like you say, respect. Like the same way you say, who can my kids look up to and not be embarrassed about, is the same type of shit that she should be trying to think about with you, which is dope, man. I really appreciate those gems, and there were tons more up in there. You know what I mean? Tons more. So we got to bring them back. Man, if I got any questions, though, I'm going to ask y'all again. Any questions? Any questions? Well, hopefully y'all can get back. Y'all can look it on the playback and y'all can, you know, any good parts that y'all liked, y'all can watch it again and again and make sure it sinks in. But, man, any words that you like to leave the people with, or
Um,
kind sayings?
um, just always remember that you're you're a mirror, so you're always going to reflect uh, the person that's in the image of where you currently are. So,
He killing y'all. Go
yeah.
ahead, cuz. My
So
bad.
put the work in and start looking in yourself in the mirror and finding something within yourself so that when you walk out there, um, people can see themselves in you.
Oh
And that's the
shit,
person that you're going to track, you know. So,
man! I would flex drop a bomb. On that note,
yeah,
I'll just say peace to the gods,
yeah.
peace to the goddesses, and we will be back. Probably not tomorrow, but on Monday we'll be back. You know how we do. We let y'all enjoy your weekend, but we'll be back on Monday for God School, 10 o'clock, and also 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? But hopefully we get brother G to come back on one of these Thursdays, man. We keep this gender war going until we get a win, until we end this gender war. We become one, united under love, one nation under the groove, right?
Yeah.
No doubt. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. Shout out to Heather B, cousin Shelly, for holding down the chat. Man, if nobody told you today, I love you. Love being in love with you. Peace. Thanks again, G.